Look, most people in corporate America are stuck in a loop. Boards spin their wheels, CEOs get cozy, and companies turn into slow-moving giants that barely react to anything. You see it every day. Value gets drained, innovation suffocates, and the real drivers, the founders and investors who built these companies from the ground up, get ignored or sidelined. This sucks. It's frustrating to watch money, time, and potential get wasted because the system protects the status quo like some overprotective guard dog. Now, the reason activist investors are shaking things up hard is because they refuse to let that happen anymore. They step in and they don't just ask nicely. They pull apart the faulty parts of a business and demand real change. No fluff, no polite nods. They push executives out, cut dead weight, force companies to rethink their priorities. They aren't just stirring the pot, they're flipping the entire kitchen over. And guess what? It's exactly what those companies needed, but couldn't deliver on their own. You might hate how aggressive some activists seem, but here's the brutal truth. They're the only ones who actually care enough to fix the mess. While everyone else debates quarterly earnings and hype-vague strategic plans, activists zero in on profit leaks, bureaucratic bloat, and broken business models. They make companies either step up or step aside. And that's why they're not just investors, they're catalysts. So if you're a founder or investor feeling stuck, smashing your head against slow, suffocating management or blind boards, listen up. Stop waiting for permission or changes that will never come. Get proactive. Look at companies that are locked in old patterns and ask yourself, where's the hidden value nobody's talking about? What's the business bleeding from that executives won't touch? Find those spots and hit them fast and hard. Here's how you break into that arena with real impact. First, know your numbers like a sniper. Be relentless about understanding cash flow, assets, and weaknesses no one else sees. Then, build your case armed with facts, not opinions. No vague calls about restructuring or innovation. Point to exactly where change is needed, who's blocking it, and how your approach will fix it. Next up, don't flinch from confrontation. If boards or CEOs resist, lean in harder. Push for real accountability. Demand clarity on roles and results. Hold people responsible publicly if you have to. And never settle for half measures or excuses. Real change rarely comes from niceties. It comes from pressure. And sometimes pressure is uncomfortable. But that discomfort is exactly where growth lives. And here's the kicker. You don't have to do it alone. The power of activist investing is in the network you build. Connect with other collectors of change, founders who got burned but still believe, investors who understand that capital is not just money, but a weapon to cut through bullshit and inefficiency. Leverage those connections, share intelligence, coordinate attacks. The system fears collective precision far more than lone wolves banging on doors. If you sit on the sidelines hoping for boards or CEOs to fix themselves, keep dreaming. The world doesn't hand out solutions. It rewards the people who chase leverage with a relentless focus. You bring the pressure, you decide terms, you reshape companies to be lean, fast, and value-driven. And that's how activist investors aren't just shaking corporate America, they're saving it from itself. Stop whining about broken systems and start owning the fight. Hunt for real opportunity hiding in plain sight. Be the one who walks into boardrooms with facts and demands clearness, discipline, and accountability. That's how you turn frustration into action. That's how you make sure capital actually transforms companies, not props them up as they decay. The future is for those who push, challenge, and remake, not for those who wait. Get ruthless, get sharp, get moving. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit the featured link to learn more.